Can you please introduce yourself, your name, your age, and where you're from originally?
Elizabeth. I'm 39. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Okay, shout out Bucks County. I'm familiar with that area. I'm from Street Road, Parks Casino, TGI Fridays.
Down the street.
I worked there for years. All right, so yeah, tell us what happened to you, love.
Well, I was working for Amazon, and I got hit by a trash truck, and I backed into by a trash truck, and I lost my job because of it, and and then I was in pain, and I started using to stop the pain, and it got bad. Well, first it was Vicodin, and then it was Percocet, and then it was this dope out here that really messes your arms up. I have wounds from here to here on both arms. It eats away your skin. It ruins your life. It really does. It's hard. Once you get started, it's really hard to stop. I've been in the hospital for withdrawal. I had to be intubated because I stopped breathing. I was throwing up blood, but then I come out and I'm still in pain, and I want to use, because life's hard. Real hard.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your upbringing. What was it like?
Not good. My mom had a boyfriend that she was with for like 10 years, and when she was at work, he would do stuff to me. And then I told my mom. She didn't believe me. I think I was 12 years old, and she made me still live with him and everything. She wouldn't let me get a lock on my door. I used to have to put my shoe at the inside of my door so he couldn't come in at night, and that's scary. And then I think the first time I ever used it, I was 14 years old. And it was an Oxycontin. And then it really went from there. And then I got clean for 13 years. But then I got hit by the Amazon truck, and then I started using again. The things in your life that happen to you really do control like how you act and the drugs you do. And even to this day, my mom doesn't want me around her. She doesn't think, she doesn't understand, she says, but she never got me help for this problem or anything. Even growing up, she said I needed help, but she never got me any help.
What happened to your dad?
My dad stopped coming around when I was 7. He went back to Puerto Rico and just never said he was leaving or anything. We used to see him on the weekends, and like I said, he just stopped coming one weekend. So I haven't had a dad in my life since I was 7, and I'm 39 now, And I think that also has a big deal with the way I act and who I am and the drugs I do,
Do you have children?
I do. It's gonna be a hard part. I have 2 kids that I don't see. My daughter just texted me like last month and said, "Mom, I just want you to be clean." And that's hard, and I understand where she's coming from. She's 13 and I don't see her. My son just turned 16 and I don't see him. And they're my babies and I miss them. But it's just so difficult to get clean. And like you're saying, people don't see us as human. And we all have problems. And they're hard to fix.
How far do you go in school?
Only 11th grade. I dropped out. I dropped out. I didn't go. I told my mom, you might as well just sign me out. I don't go anyway.
All that thought, all right?
So I dropped out in 11th grade. I was using in school. So I wasn't really going at all. And I asked my mom, you might as well just sign me out. And my mom's just like, okay. My mom really wasn't a mother to me. She wasn't the loving parent that you need, hugs and kisses. When I was little, if I held her hand, she'd be like, "Oh, your hand feels gross," and swat it away. When you push the cart when you're little in the grocery store, if I accidentally bumped into her with her, she'd shove it right back at me. She definitely was cold, not caring. And like I said, I told her what had happened to me, and she didn't believe me. She just said, "That's gross, you need help." What else?
How you wish your life would have been?
Oh, I wish I would have had a quote-unquote normal life. I wish my dad would have been there. I wish my mom would have been loving. And I think that's why I abandoned my kids, because I was abandoned, and the drugs don't help either. But
hopefully you can break the cycle, love. You know, just because it happened to you, you don't have to repeat it. It ends when it meets you.
And it does put a hole in you, when your parent leaves and you don't understand when you're little, it puts a hole in your heart that
foundation.
Yeah, and I know that my kids are experiencing that big hole too. You know, they understand that I'm on drugs, but they don't understand completely, you know?
Got you.
Yeah.
So what is it like, you know, a day in your life out here, 24 hours?
It's hard. You got to make sure nobody robs you. You got to keep everything on you. You got to go to a shelter to shower. This is a bag of food right here from a shelter down the street. You know, the women's shelter helps. They give me new clothes. But again, it's difficult. It's dirty. It's scary. You know, and if you ain't surrounded by a little group of people, then you're definitely going to get robbed or beat up or raped. You know, it's hard living out here.
How you protect yourself out here?
Yeah. How do I protect myself?
Yeah. How do you stay safe?
With him.
Oh, that's your man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up,
He helps
man.
keep me safe. We're partners in crime.
How long y'all been together?
7 years.
Oh, that's history right there.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And then that's also hard to get clean as a couple, you know, because we go to the hospital and like they might help him get off of it, but then they might tell me, oh, you know, here's resources for a rehab.
Yeah, train coming. So yeah, what's your living status?
We stay with his mom sometimes, but she can't stand us. We fight all the time over drugs. We fight when we have them, when we don't have them. And his mother's 71 years old, and she says, you know, I can't have this at my house, guys. You know, I shouldn't be dealing with this. And she tries to help us out as much as she can, but she has to help herself out too, you know? She's on Social Security. You get selfish at times. The good is you have somebody that understands what you're going through and can relate. You know, they have your back, they understand it, they've been through it, seen it, done it, hear it, experience it. But the bad parts is that you gotta share. I know it sounds terrible, but you know, drugs are expensive. So if we get 2 bags, I have to give him one, you know what I mean? So that we fight over that, and that's the bad part. And it messes our relationship, because the things we say to each other aren't very nice when we're dope sick. I mean, we sit there and scream and say the meanest shit to each other that you don't want to say to a human being. And then, you know, when we get better, we say, I'm sorry, you know, I didn't mean that. You know, I love you. It's just the drugs. It's dope sick love, you know?
Right. What all have you lost due to your addiction?
Jobs, my children, my little bit of family that I have. I have a sister, older sister. You know, she's like, quote unquote, the perfect child. She went to college, has a good job, has a house, and I don't have any of that. So I don't even speak to my sister either. So, you know, it's just me and him really. You know, I don't really have family right now to support me or help me. But those are the things I lost.
How do you survive out here?
Food stamps. Yeah, you can sell your food stamps at a lot of these poppy stores. I mean, they only give you like $60 for 100, but you got to make it stretch. People will pull up in a car and say, do you want to make $100 if you have your ID? And I've done that before. I say, yeah, you know, and they'll be like, you got to return these things from Home Depot or whatever for me, or go to a bank and take this money out, and you know,
Aren't you afraid doing stuff like that? It might be it's fraud.
It is fraud, but you don't. You're so sick. You don't. Your mind ain't thinking right. You just think, oh, $100 to do this. And a lot of the times those opportunities pop up, or like someone will say, I'll give you $100 if you get a phone in your name for me, you know, and I've done that too, and I got screwed. But those are the things that you do to survive out here. I mean, those opportunities pop up a lot more than you would think.
Right.
And then they have like community days also for us. They'll have like a parade and stuff out at this park, and they feed us the rock. They feed us. They pray for us. You know, it's
so are you a religious or spiritual person?
Not really, but I mean, I don't know what there is up there. I think maybe there's something. And I'm just trying to get better. So if there is a higher power, you know, I can find my place there.
Got you. So, are you getting sick right now because your nose is running?
Yeah.
So how long do your when you do the trank, right? You do trank. Do you snort, smoke, or shoot it?
I shoot it if I'm at the house, and I snort it if I'm out here.
And how long do your high last?
Maybe 3-4 hours.
So now the withdrawal, what is it like for you?
Oh man, it's bad. Runny nose, sneezing, throwing up, nausea. You can't see when you're walking. You see white. You fall. You have diarrhea. You get the shakes. It's not a seizure. It's more like like a tremor, and I've fallen on the ground and just stood there and shaken. It gets real bad. The throwing up. You feel like your stomach's going to come out your mouth. It's that bad.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Okay. Well, we about to shut down. What are your short-term goals?
To get clean. I want to be clean by the time I'm 40, which is in like a week or two, and see my kids.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Hopefully you can do it together or do it apart and flip the script. If not, one person got to leave the other person behind, because there's so many couples out here who are like y'all, and one end up dying.
Yep.
You have heard it, right?
Yeah.
One person died, and then the other person is by themselves. If your friends or your family see this video, what message would you like to send to them?
My love, I'd like to let them know that I love you, and I'm human, and I make mistakes. And that's pretty much it.
That's right. There is a lot of people out there who judge those who are struggling with addiction. What's your message for the world?
Again, we're human, don't see us as scum. We have issues and problems. We just chose to deal with them differently, and we made mistakes. It's a very, very, very difficult drug to get off of. Very, very difficult. Like I said, I've been in the hospital and stopped breathing from withdrawal, and just that thought of that makes me not want to get clean, and it makes it harder. That's pretty much it.
Okay, Elizabeth, thank you once again for being courageous and helping us to break the stigma. And we wish you nothing but the best. We're rooting for you. Be known for your sobriety, not your addiction,
Yeah.
And recovery is hard, but regret is harder. You know that.
That's true.
So yeah, AML fam, drop all the positive comments you got for our sister. And remember, y'all, don't be bitter, be better. Until next time, we out there. Peace out.